Hello there, gamers. Oh, let's scooch this a little bit. There. Hello, gamers. Polykin Silver Shadow. Hitting first this time around. Congrats, congrats. Big pom-poms. How is it going, everybody? Thank you, Nintendo Gamer 2. For a second, I read that as Nintendo Gamer. But, I don't know, maybe you're both. So many hellos. Hello, 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 everybody. Sports. Sure, I agree. It's in the game. Oh, okay, that was an EA Sports, right? I gotcha. Whew. I guess. Hello? That's not the song we were listening to. All right. Got immediate Darwin request. Okay. One sec. Here's Darwin. You can have your Darwin. Hi. Hello. Woo! Okay. So today we are VOD reviewing for Kugersy and Magic Mango. I believe that neither of them are going to be available for League. So if we could grab, it looks like Devi and Jamie are both here. You guys will remember the password, I'm sure, which is now, I suppose, being well protected by Darwin. I didn't exactly plan for this, but hey, what the heck? He's there, and he's doing his thing, and it's helping. So there's that. I don't think Chibi will be available if, let's see here. I'm looking to see. Darwin friend, yes. Hey Nug, you're actually in one of these VOD review VODs. You want to hop into League here? Just jump into waiting room. I trust that Nug is available. Okay, perfect. There is Doovie. Hello. Here is Nug. And then, Jamie, just let me know if you are available. And we can go from there. Love how Gatorland became involved with the title. Yeah, it was just too much about Gators. Like, we had to make something out of it. It's unfortunate, that video, we did actually, I think, Devi, get it figured out, the processing issue. So for those who weren't paying attention to the announcements in the Discord server, what happened with the most recent video was that there's this bug, this known bug on YouTube, where a video will get stuck on processing. Like, they usually process in under an hour, but this video was up for like 9 hours and never finished processing and just kind of hung up on something. So I was able to get it to reprocess by putting in a little blur effect in a place that wouldn't be noticeable. Because it reprocesses the entire video whenever you make an edit like that. And then when it reprocessed, that time it uploaded properly and everything. So it should be viewable now. So apologies to those of you who were there this morning and checked it out and were like, hey, wait, I can't watch this. That's what happened. Oh, yeah, I got you, Nug. All right, Devi is zoomier than me. For sure. Violet Lynn, this is Darwin. This is Soliart's puppy. He has his own Instagram account, Our Friend Darwin. So if you want to go and follow Darwin there, I think you can get a daily Darwin that way. A daily dose of Darwin. So, just putting that out there. Repping for my mods, you know? Don't tell me you never... Don't tell me I never paid you anything. But yeah, for sure. Hello, Go Sushi. Dog key. Yes, Darwin is friend. What is my name? Or if we're talking to me, then I go by Gem. Unless you're looking for like IRL name, you're looking for me to dox myself. I don't know. And here is Jamie. We did it. Success. Room is up, Jamie. It's the same password we usually use. If you need a refresher, I can send it to you. Oh, I see. There you go. I see. So this is important mod stuff that we're doing behind the scenes right now. I understand now. I'm glad we could make your day better, Zori. I wish you the best of luck on your Spanish homework. May you get only A's. Darwin the wise pupper bestows his knowledge upon you. All right. Never played a League game? Let me just really quick hit you guys with an idea. All right, Squid Schoolers, start getting your teams ready for the Squid School graduation party. On September 4th, the Sunday of the last weekend before Splatoon 3, we're going to swarm a league battle rotation together and see who can get the highest league power. We have a time picked out to be EU friendly and a time picked out for NA, but you're welcome to play in whatever rotations you want, or both. The more the merrier. No registration necessary or anything, because the results will just be the leaderboard for that rotation. It's a great opportunity to try playing on a coordinated team if you haven't before. I'll be playing too, with my competitive team during NA hours, and with some familiar Squid School lecturers during the EU time slot. Hope to see you there, and everybody you're gonna run and tell about this event right now. So I know that a lot of people have been responding with, oh, that sounds really fun, but I don't have a team. And that's where you're wrong, because we have this magical place called Discord where you can go online and find new squid friends with whom to play league battles. We have a section of the server here called Team Recruitment, which a lot of people are using for the graduation party in particular. And we also have a bunch of opportunities where people will just ping in the looking for group chat that, hey, we want to play some League. And so it's a great way to get to know some people before you have to commit to teaming with them for the graduation party. Because the nice thing about the graduation party is that you do not have to have anything figured out until day of. There's no registration. I'm not even going to know who all is playing unless you tell me, because we don't need to. All we need to do is look at the leaderboard that it gives you in game to see which teams, you know, made it the highest up the ladder. So it's super casual, it's super easy to get into. All you need to do is be able to play in League mode, and there are going to be plenty of opportunities to meet some new people around that Discord server if you so choose. So that is a great way for us to have stalled for time a little bit when we got a communication error on the League battle and we had to restart. Well, that's... are you joining off of me? Okay, join off me, because Devi might have still been in the limbo area between games. Oh, Canada. Shucks. Oh, man. Oh, Florida. Where gators call their home. Oh, yeah, that's true, that's true. Alrighty. Yeah, in before the league rotation ends up being like like Walleye Warehouse and Arowana Mall Clam Blitz or something like that. And everybody just hates their lives. Yeah. We have no idea what it's gonna be. It's like a month out? Pretty close. 2 months out? 2 months. 2 weeks? Yeah, you know, we're holding it about a month after Splatoon 3 comes out. As if anyone's gonna be playing this game then. Zori, I did actually know that they were supposed to be rabbits. I remember seeing the footage from when they were just like little cubes moving around. It was a very interesting story. Yeah. Little blobs of itself, I guess. Hi, Bungie. And hello, Parker and Game Guy Key. Or Kai? Probably Kai. I think? I don't know. All right, thanks, Mango, and hopefully you're going to be able to drop back in for the VOD review. Kugersy is not going to be available for the first slot, so we gave Kugersy the second slot. So Magic Mango is definitely going to be first, but we'll see if they're able to get back at least for, you know, the later part of it. When Splatoon 3 comes out, do you think there will be a nostalgia phase for Splatoon 2, or will people hate it? It really depends a lot on Splatoon 3. So I've lived through this exact situation before. I was a competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee player for 14 years. And that game was so beautiful and so beloved by the competitive community. And then Brawl came out and it was just completely different. They stripped away so many of the movement mechanics that made Melee so fast and fluid. And what happened was we played Brawl for about a month, and we quickly realized in about that month's time that this probably isn't going anywhere, at least with the people who were interested in Melee. And we kind of started drifting back to Melee at that point in time. That's a really extreme example. The Melee community is still alive today, specifically because Brawl was so bad by our estimation. There were a lot of things Brawl did well, but the problem was that its gameplay was much more anti-competitive. So if a situation like that were to happen, and I don't think that's going to be the case, Splatoon 3 is looking pretty awesome right now, but if that were to be the case, that we're just like, ugh, we cannot stomach this, then maybe we would move back to Splatoon 2, and it would probably take about a month and a half or something like that for most people to come around to making that decision. But I am anticipating that that's probably not the case. I've been, watching how the game developers have been learning to balance the game as time has gone on, and I think they have gotten better and better and more nuanced and more sophisticated with the way they've done it. So I have a lot of faith in the way that they're planning this out. Everything that we've seen so far has looked great in terms of quality of life type stuff. There are just so many more ways to play. So, like, you can play casually, you can play, like, a decently important game, or you can, like, sweat your butt off in an X-rank battle. And, like, all of those options are available with different rotations. If you hate the rotation, like, there are just so many things that seem like they're pointing towards Splatoon 3 being a game we're going to be staying on for a good long time. Alrighty. Hey, X-Ray! Buddy! Buddy, pal! Friendo! Squid pal! Alright, X-Ray is available. Who's the fourth person that is not there? It was Jamie, but Jameson, James, yes, exactly. All of those are totally correct and not at all false ways to pronounce his name. Double stuffed Oreos? Is that like a double-decker double stuffed Oreo? Or like what? How do they distinguish that from like a mega stuffed? A double, like a, no, okay, it is a super amount of, so it's just a lot more stuffing. Like, I already thought mega stuffed was excessive. I think double stuff is actually the right ratio. I think they got it right with double stuff. Hi, Pyro fan. Morbillion stuff. Yes, exactly. What the morb? A Schlorpillion stuffed Oreo. I forgot to finish the phrase, so I just kind of went for it. Thin Oreos are a crime against humanity. Okay, we've got some battle lines drawn here. This is looking like a new Splatfest. Yes, X-Ray said gotcha, and I'm assuming that that means that they're on their way. They're probably having to boot up the game, is my guess. It's nice and crispy. I do like those, so they make these like little wafers that are official Oreo products, but they don't actually have cream filling. It's just kind of like cookies and cream flavored. Those are actually pretty good. I think it came in those little like 100 calorie packs. So they could be like, hey, it's healthy. You're eating Oreos. All right, we did it. We've got a squad. Cream versus cookie Oreo Splatfest. They'd have to get the brand deal. I mean, I don't know that... Isn't Nabisco, like, European? So, I don't know if they have, like, the business connections. Chips Ahoy, I'm sorry, that's gonna be the underdog there. Those are some low-quality chocolate chip cookies. I'll take Cookie Crisp over Chips Ahoy. Oh, I'm about to get sniped. Sniper, no sniping. I'm gonna die. Yeah, the Tetra's run MPU these days. Yeah, on right, on right. Right around the corner. Everybody just step back, let Debbie get it. Alright. Are we ready? I'm gonna missile the charger. Missling, go in. Two on bunker, two on bunker, three on bunker. Street is weak, they ink jetted. Jump is in street, there's 3 street. That's 2 down. Tetras are up, be careful. Nice. Charger's stuck. Got Charger. I'm down to mid. One in street. Nice. In mid. Alright. Close to missiles. Missling Charger. Got Charger. Tetris on street. Got him. Got one. I'm backing up. Yeah, I'm getting sniped at. You say one on our bunk? Charger got me cut. They're coming street. Enforce. Alright. Charger's gonna be top left. Charger down. Missling, last one in street. Go, go, go. They're at basket. Charger mast. Got one. On basket, Tetras. That's probably all we can get, unless there's more bunker. Oh! Good stuff. Alright. Good stuff, good stuff. Cookies and cream Oreos? But Oreos are already cookies and cream. Literally. And in terms of the flavor. Hello, Wah, aka Yoshe. Almost like that's a FIA alt account or something. Yes, the VOD review feature, the recording feature is going to be super duper useful for Squid School. It's almost like they made that with me in mind. My dog is undoubtedly a Russian spy in disguise. Be very careful. Why is Twitch bad? Twitch is purple. Purple's a cool color. This is why it's good. One on mast. I'm keeping bombs on mast. I see it, I see it. They backed up. One on bunker. Yeah. They're on me. Got one. Another one on me. Oh. There's one on right plat. Trying to pinch me from mid. Traded. Of course I traded with a respawn puncher. Several in street. Jet is weak. Jet down. Now hit our basket. Yeah. They're in mid now. I have missiles ready. Alright. I missiled right. Nice, that's one down. I'm looking at right. There's one on flat. See if we can pinch that. He's weak. Got him. They jumped to the jet. Another one on me. Nice. Thank you, Doobie. Jet in their street. Missiling them. Jet. Oh, one on me. Two on me on left. Nice, that's two down. One in our street, though, with the clam. Where'd they go? They jumped out. Yeah, they jumped to the left, I think. One right cut. Weak on bunker. Zap on mast. Careful, they're pushing in, they're pushing in. We're two down. Just you, X-ray. Good jump. I think they wasted ink jet. There's nobody mast. Or bunker, sorry. There's one on the wall. Bunker wall. Careful over the wall, Nugget. Several on left. I missiled. Traded. One more street. I can get the pity in if we need. All right. On my way. It's 2v4 at this point. Inner street. Another one cut. Nice. We can cut. There's two. Sorry, I forced him down on top of you. Woo. They're on bunker. In street now. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna beeline basket because that's the only way we get there in time. I'm in. Jump to me, jump to me. Two in street. That's about all we're gonna get. To answer Jamie's question, how do y'all feel about the Rainmaker reworks? I think that it is an improvement, but that Rainmaker will still be very snowball-y. Like, the delay is great because that means that you won't just, like, 40-second you won't just 40-second knockout, you will have to win one more fight. But it is literally only one more fight. So if the other team is able to set up a spawn camp off of that first fight, off of the pop or whatever, it can still go very wrong very quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one interesting thing about it is that now that raises the possibility that a team gets a checkpoint, but then the other team pops it and is able to continue from there. Like, you have to maintain painting power around that goal when you score it if you're going to be able to keep possession, which I think is kind of cool. Yep, we got him. Oh, roller on me. Got him. Oh, okay. One on me. I'm down in mid, 2. Yeah, Blaster's on the wall. Blaster down. Another one on me. Roller, I'm down. 2 in the street. Roller at basket. Roller at basket. They're throwing to it. Good trade. Blaster bunker. Yeah, oh, I got down too slowly. Good bomb. That'll get him. Cut, 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 cut. 2 in basket, 2 in basket. Still 2 at basket. Blaster in street now. Blasters in her flat. Careful, Nug. Okay. Missling 3 as they come in. Nice. Good shots. Where's Roller? Oh, I missed the jump. Are there still any in the street? One mass. Roller drops from mid. Ah. One in street, in street. Where are they coming from? Like, what angles do we need to cut off? All right. Free down. Where's the splash? Yep. They dropped into street, I think. Two there, two there. I hit him twice. They're running a lot of quick super jump. Nice. They jumped into street. They were all basket. Hello. Let us know, like, what we're able to do to help you with that, Devi. Because, like, when you say I don't have anywhere to go, I don't know, like, what I need to help you with. Gotcha. This is Nug talking. This is not Nug talking. My bad. Right. We started a game. Maybe after this round, we can have somebody sit out for you. And then we can scoot you in from there. We won't be able to get to power that way, but like we'll be able to get you some games in anyway. Ah, okay. Don't hurt yourself if you, yeah, like if there's an issue that is impacting your play, I would avoid playing on it if it's gonna hurt or something. Like, do you have like a splint or something? Like, is it safe to play as long as your hand is splinted, but it's just gonna be awkward, or what's going on with that? Oh, so you... Ooh, wow. I don't know if it's gonna be good to play on that then. Like... They're jumping into left plat, left plat. Are you jumpable, X-Ray? Yeah, I'm jumping into you. I got you. Got him. Squeezer coming right. Good stuff, good stuff. They're jumping into left plat. We have 13. They're kind of split. I don't want to play for jumps. Alright, I'll try and get in on a cut. Nice. One below you, Debbie. $80 to missiles. Squeezer right with someone else. Doolies. Missling right. 2 on right plat. They rotated back to left. Jet got me from above. Or not Jet. I don't know what's up above, but they got me. I'm gonna back up. I don't want to save that ball right now. Got 2. They're stuck. Got him. Brush in mid. Hit him twice. Got him. Let's get the basket. They're stopping me in cut. They got me. Careful, we lost the ball. Okay, there, we're good. Traded. Jumping to Nug. Alright, let's pinch their bunker, Nug. One really weak up there. Beautiful. Another one on bunk. They dropped into street. Behind you. Hit basket 2. Got 1. Another one weak. I'm just trying to stay alive and throw one at the end. Oh, I didn't have an extra clam. I'm dumb. I miscounted. The funny thing is I'm still alive. It's fine. I could have sworn I only threw all but one of the clams that I had, but I threw all of them apparently. Whoops. Math is hard. Okay, so let's get Kugersy in here. I think Kugersy already has me added, so it shouldn't be a problem there. Yeah. But hello there to all of the new folks who have hopped into the stream since. Appreciate y'all being here. I see Kane and San and Centabean, I think, and Spectre Bonk. Oh yeah, we'll do. There it is. Among Us, Sussy Loot, the answer to 5+5 in Splatoon is football. this plus that equals 7 plus this, because this is equal to that, and that is equal to 7, therefore 14. He's got the whole copy pasta pulled up and he's about to recite it. There was a copy pasta in the GemDab channel. Let me go and find it and I'll do a dramatic reading of it for y'all. I just have to look for a wall of text. There it is. Okay, so GemDab plus GemDab right equals GemDab GIF, right? But if you put GemDab as GemDab X and add 90 degrees to GemDab right, you can find out that GemDab right 90 degrees is... Okay, we've got to get back to the game here. Oh man, Nug actually has it. Got one. Another one on me. Oh, I'm so... Got him. It's 3 down. Alright, that's a bunch of clams. I've got missiles. Let's get over to the right side and start getting ready to push in both directions. Oh. They're looking at us from fan. We're going to need to clear that. One on left. They're coming out. They're coming out on me. I'm down. In order to push, we need pressure on right fan, and we also need pressure over the right little ledge there. Flank, flank, flank. Flank behind. That's all good. One in our office. Basket, basket. Right side peeking this in the corner. Hit him twice. He's weak on me. There we go. For those watching, I was shooting one side of the pillow so that Devi could clear out the other side consistently. 3 on left, 2 arcade, and 1 below. The one below is alone. Got him. One on me on left. Got one. Thank you. On my way. They're not in the corner. Missling ahead for you, Kugersy. 2 in front of you. We don't have enough clams for this. We need to back out. We need coverage on fan. Sorry. We were just getting pinched from left and we needed to get away. Oop, sorry, Nug. Thought you were there. And... missing all 4. That's 1. 1 below. On fan right here with me. Thank you. I'm on my way left. Got him. Oh, I found one by accident. That's nice. So they're 2 down. Let's get in on right. I've got missiles. I'm gonna launch and then go over the top. All right, we're in. Good booyah, good booyah. Perfect timing for that. Yeah, I can't get sponge one. Yeah, there's one on you. Just Kugersy. One on left fan. I'm sharking it. Oh. They got away. And I died. 200 plat. Yeah, there's still 2 arcade. Up basket. Okay, they backed up to arcade. Missiling 2 towards Devi. Shoot. Got 1 with missiles. Another one stuck in mid. They got me from behind. Sploosh on my ouch. I'm gonna let Devi try and hold down the fort and rush the basket because we don't have time otherwise. Yeah, I need to get this one. Got him. Running right. There's only 2 up. I'm gonna be jumpable in a second. Watch for me. Go now, go now. Got 1. I'm down, but there are a bunch by the spawn. Keep it open. Make sure to get clams. Don't score too quickly. Don't run out of clams. I died for you. 3 more clams. 3 more clams. Oh, I died on landing. Gem has major right path bias. You literally can only go right. You can either go over the fan or you can go over the right ledge. There's no left wall or anything. Yeah, they kept seeing that they were able to pinch us from the fan, and so they would put people over that. So it was either I back up and like run into someone who has high ground on me, or I just go straight over the right side. So I think there it was probably the right choice most of the time. Gotcha. Thanks, Overkicks. We should be good for this. We'll only have 2 more games anyway, but appreciate you offering to help out. Four plus 4 football will make early pushes so much quicker. That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. We probably don't want a ball until we get to the basket, if we can help it. If you make one by accident, that's fine. Just throw it at Devi, because Devi's position is going to be more known than the rest of ours. But for the most part, we want to stay hidden until we get there. Just make your name, throw clam, and shoot, you don't quite have enough. Give clam here. Yeah, give me clam. Give me clam. Dynamo in mid. I'm running. 3, end of the 4th jumping. They're armored. Careful about those jumps. Our cuts, got him. It's the splash. Yeah. Let's get some paint in mid. I have missiles ready as soon as they start to contest this. Missiling 2 in mid. 1 backed up to street. The other one's trapped left. Push left hard. Nice. Dynamo down. 1 more to the street. Go in. You guys are collapsing together. Yeah, they didn't peek that well. Woo, wait a minute. I am jumpable, I'm jumpable. This is dumb, but too late. Yeah, it would have been a dumb play to jump there, but I was winning a 1v3 earlier, so. Dynamo on mask, we need to deal with that first. Oh. 2 pushing street, they're marked. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. They're 2 down. Mm-hmm. Hydra with charge peeking a corner is a very scary thing. Dynamo's on bunker. Missling won their street. Nice. Zap down. Oh, I missed. That probably fell off the ledge. They're coming in from far left. Careful. Far left, far left. Got a double bomb. Let's go. There are a bunch of clams over here. There's a fourth. One in their street. Drop from left. Got him. Okay, Nug's got a clam and can just jump up to here, which is a great place. Dynamo's down. There's another one below. Oh. That's not the first fight I shouldn't have won in this game. Dynamo with the clam. 2 on left plat. Half the missiles. Wait for my missiles. There's a lot of them there. Missling 2. There's 1 mask still. That's down. One from bunker? Yeah. Dynamo their elbow. Just save it. 2 seconds. Now throw. There you go. Nice. Do you guys want Manta to return in 3? I could take it or leave it. I'm very meh about this stage. Mm-hmm. Squid roll. Yeah, it's like the problem with missiles, like FLC made a good point when I brought that up with him, saying that it's not so much that missiles get kills, because like you'll see in top level lobbies, people will launch like 17 missiles and get 3 KA off of that. It's not really that the missiles themselves are getting the kills, it's that the displacement is getting the kills because it's forcing the team out of position. So like, yeah, your you know, not gonna kill the Hydra, but you're still putting the Hydra out of place, so it's still gonna have a significant impact. But I don't know. I feel like missiles will be a little bit nerfed. Like there is room for other specials to be the best special in the game. But right now, with Ray gone, with armor gone, I think like missiles are definitely still in the running for strongest special in the game. They will probably be meta at least at launch. Is it normal that we don't hear the Discord call? Well, that's not good. I'm gonna go and try and fix that, because they've been talking this entire time, and I was thinking all along that y'all could hear them. Okay, say something now, Debbie.
Hey, I'm speaking words.
Oh my god.
Something.
This entire time we were talking to nope. Oh my god.
Debbie was like answering the question.
I was answering questions. I'm so sad. I got two.
Oh dear. That's deeply saddening.
So now let me explain.
Missling in.
Hydra v missiles. I don't care about it when missiles coming back in. We get a new mechanic, moves and stuff like that. So yada yada yada.
I'm gonna push the
Go in
basket.
for left. Behind you, Kugersy.
Oh, man.
There's a baller here.
Can I jump into that?
Ugh!
Woo! Not when Debbie's making noises like that, I can't.
No, you can now though.
Too late, I'm here.
Oh hi.
Going for splashdown.
Oh, nice wall nugget.
Oh.
That was good movement
Down.
and bad aim
Oh,
by me.
missed it.
We're down, be careful. Just back up and regroup.
Nugget and I kind of have this secured right now. If Nugget gets a wall
One over
top,
fan
that's
with
great.
Luna.
Okay, there's a blaster
They're gonna
on
start
top
jumping
of
on
the
you.
fan.
Oh yeah, hang tight. I'll help. I poked it.
Got
There
him.
you go.
Oh my god, it took so long.
One's
Why?
going into our basket if we don't score first.
We cannot score first.
Okay, well, they're jumping over here. I got one. I got this. Never mind. Keep the aggression over there. I got this.
To base.
One out left. Nope.
Yeah. They have baller. Watch out. Nice.
Got the Glugas.
The glugas.
I got 8 clams.
Okay. I will push this side.
Missling basket. Last
Oh,
one's Dynamo.
down.
Weak. Traded.
Oh, I got hit by a blob.
Beautiful.
I'm doing
That was
splashdown.
probably
Let's
dead.
go.
Oh. One behind you.
Oh.
You did get
Tried
one.
to- I tried to outmaneuver the blob, which is very
Three on
hard
their
for me
plat.
to do.
Where are they looking? Oh, they're just on their plat. Okay.
Gonna go.
Oh, I got one.
distraction.
I moved them all backwards to the right.
Missling.
Also
I
really
got
weak.
9
Oh, here's
clams.
armor.
Got Dynamo.
Da-da-da.
Got Blob. Moving in. Scored.
I'm down.
Just 2 under basket.
Oh, that's a blaster. I have death.
Careful, Nugget, you're alone. I'm watching left. It's Blaster over here on left. Nice.
Let me just be the wall of left real quick here.
They bollard.
Have a ball.
Help me with it.
Yep, Basket's a bit
Thank
occupied
ya.
over there. I'm just kind of
Thank
distracting them
ya.
right now on fan. I have Blob's attention.
Ooh, there's a blaster over here.
Dynamo
I'm
down.
helping him. One shot. One shot. There we
Missling
go.
basket.
Let's go.
Nice. That's another one down. Ball behind you.
There we go.
That's a dynamo. That's a blaster.
And that's the game.
There we go.
Ta-da!
Nice. You made it to Z rank. Did your Inkling do the Z rank pose? Gotta release my inner Nagami. I need better choreography, I think.
You have to go down on like your knees or something, and then just you have to sit down and then like forward and then like put your arms backwards, something like that.
Something like that. Thank you for the raid, Cactus. Welcome over.
Cactus?
The alerts
Is
work.
that AV Cactu?
Cactos.
Advanced vandalism, glitched cactus.
Oh.
All right.
Also,
just
what
already
about the
see-
copy pasta?
I can. There we go. I can just hear Cactus's voice in my head saying that. It's AV Cactu up in here.
There it is. Okay. So we are going to do this,
No one's heard,
this,
now mute.
this, and now the. I don't think Mango is actually in here, but it'll be good for when we switch over to Kugersy's. And we'll start off with Mango, and then we will switch over to, actually, since Kugersy's already here, and Mango's not here yet, as far as we know, it actually makes more sense to
Mango
go.
was here at the start, but then had to leave.
Right, and then had to
so-
go, and they might be back in time. So I'm thinking what we actually do is we start with Kugersy, since Kugersy is here. There. That's, yeah, okay. So as always, I cannot read chat currently, so any questions that you have, try and get like Devi's attention or whoever else is in the call here with us, and
Yeah, ping my name.
yeah, something like that, and then we'll be able to get that answered for you. But we're gonna get started here. This is, excuse me. I think this is just a solo queue match for Kugersy. So we're playing Tower Control on Ink Blot, and we've got the ink brush here. So one of the things that I said I was going to talk today about is skirmishing, and so I want to give a quick definition of that before we get into the match. Skirmishing is a term kind of coined by FLC, who's one of the best analysts in Western Splatoon. And what it means is engaging the enemy, so keeping them busy, making sure they have to pay attention to you while not getting splatted. It doesn't matter awfully much whether you actually get the splat or not yourself, as long as you yourself are not splatted. We had actually a really great example of that in the final push of that last match we just played, where Kugersy said, I've got the blob's attention. So then I took a side angle and was able to pick the dynamo because neither of them were looking at me, they were looking at Kugersy. So Kugersy there was skirmishing for me, and I was the slayer who went and capitalized on that situation. The brush is a skirmisher weapon. It's not the fastest kill time in the game, but what it is one of the most mobile weapons in the game. It's able to zip around wherever it wants, even through enemy ink, And that ability gives it the opportunity to distract and draw enemy aggro in ways that wouldn't be as safe for other weapons in the game. And so it can kind of zoom around and be a distraction. And if it picks the time and place to distract correctly, the rest of its team is going to be able to follow up really effectively on those fights. Now, one of the things about the brush that makes it so that you have to pay attention to it is that it can shark. It can sit in the ink, submerge there, hide there, and then pop out and take people out when they're not expecting it, because it can sneak into positions that most weapons wouldn't be mobile enough to get into. So we will see a lot of sharking here, but what I want to see is like a nice balance of sharking and just getting the opponent's attention when your team is trying to push in. So let's get things started here. Looking at the team comp, we've got double armor on our team, so we should expect that our teammates are going to farm for armor, and then once we have it, that we're going to be able to play a lot more aggressively. So you, for instance, are going to be able to maybe stall for time while they're getting armor, and then once the armor gets popped, then you can go in with that armor and actually take a fight. Or maybe once you do get armor, you're able to just take a completely wide off angle and go for a really, really big flank because you've got armor, and so you're even safer than you normally are, even on a brush. Those are the kinds of things that you can look for based on this team comp. Also be looking for where that Booyah bomb gets thrown, because you can always follow up on a Booyah bomb to try and get picks if it is thrown in effective locations. Then on the other team, I'm not seeing much there that warrants like an extra look. There's not. You would all obviously want to check your map screen where you can see what gear they're wearing to see if they're running Ninja Squid or Drop Roller or anything like that. But the junior, you can probably anticipate roughly what they're going to be going for. If they have a whole bunch of maybe sub-saver, you know, okay, they're going to be throwing more bombs. Dynamo is going to be a Dynamo. Clash Blaster doesn't have a lot of tricks in particular that it can run. I doubt that the Doolies are running Ninja Squid, but people have done sillier things, so there isn't an awful lot that I want to be looking out for there, but the even balance of specials. I believe that is the... I can never remember the Clash Blasters apart. One of them has missiles, one of them has ray. I think that's the missiles one. And so they'll have double missile, except that they won't because their missile user just died. So must have just been a bomb that the K-Pro threw or something. Yeah, the K-Pro throws a bomb. I think.
Yeah, that's the custom blaster. Like the custom Clash Blaster that has missiles and curling bomb.
Gotcha, thanks. So it looks like you create a distraction over here, you throw some bombs over here, and one of the nice things that happens is your K-Pro recognizes, oh, they can't be on the right side of the tower, they're going to move to the left side of the tower, and it takes some shots, it looks like. Oh, man. This... Yeah, the video player is just chugging. Because the video has all of those frames, it's just not playing them. There we go, much better. Okay. So that works out really well. Just be aware that, like, if you throw a bomb, you've lost 70% of your ink tank. Like, look how low you are already. So every time you throw a bomb, there should just be this little, like, signal in your head that goes, wait a minute, I might be out of ink soon. Because usually that's the case with the splat bomb. It's very ink hungry. But you get away just in the nick of time. You just barely give yourself enough paint to be able to swim through. This shark is really clever, because the Dynamo, like, thinks that they can hit all of this, and you find a spot on the wall where they can't. So their teammate then moves up, like, okay, that area must have been flushed out by the Dynamo, and you just get this really easy pick, deny them their armor. So that's a really good play. Now, if someone has a little bit more object permanence than that, what they might assume is that, okay, the Dynamo isn't able to hit this because of the Dynamo hitbox, and they might play a little bit more carefully around that. But even then, you're just sharking on the back wall. Like, you have some ways out if they try to go for something. So this works out really well, and I think it's a good play. So at this point, generally when you get a pick, the next thing you want to do is gather information. Okay, I got one down. Does that mean we have enough to push? I got one down. Is there anybody who's coming in to try and trade that pick back? Do we have the ability to like pop some specials now so that we can accelerate our advantage moving forward? So right now there's not a huge advantage. We start painting up around us here to give ourselves some escape routes, I suppose. It's not a bad idea to have a little bit of paint around. I'm a little like... One of the things about the camera movements, like especially looking down at the ground as much, is that we don't really have a lot of information about enemy positions right now. So we're not super threatened, and it's not the worst time to grab some of this ground, but just be aware, like, we really don't know what's going on around us for a lot of this time because of the way we're, you know, using the camera to point down, look around at the ground around us. A map check maybe might have been good once you got back behind cover here, just so that you can see where are my teammates, where's the enemy team, are there fights happening. Your dynamo's just gone down, we don't know why. Looks like the fight's happening around the right-hand side, and so you start to move over here. You're kind of sharking in place. You realize that the Clash is up here above you. Take a couple of shots, they go down, nice. The Clash definitely could have played that better. If they just stay on top and shoot so that their shots go over the ledge, they probably catch you. I would have thought that they would see you in that position where you were, but I guess they didn't. They just kind of dropped on your teammate and ended up dying. But if they stand up there, they can definitely force you off of that ledge, so it's a little bit hairy there. This is really risky. So I think it's like right here that you see them. This player has more range than you. And what might happen if you try to push this is they roll backwards and kite you. I, as a brush, look at this and I'm like, at most I can throw a bomb, but I might not even want to do that because I'm in such an exposed position. I'm thinking like, I'm in the middle of the map right now. So if anyone with longer range than me has an open sight line, they can probably hit me. And if I run forward to try and get behind this cover, I run into this guy who, again, can kite me. So I would want to be running back towards wall at this point. They end up not paying a lot of attention to you there. It looks like they're like looking upwards, so that allows you to close some distance. But there, again, you see they rolled backwards and got away from you, and now you're getting pinched from the right-hand side. So the junior does give you an opening, like, right here. If you start just swinging at them right here, you probably at least trade, because they're turning their aim around really slowly. But I would generally not expect this fight to be something that you'd win. Like, swimming away was probably the right call against a junior who's aiming at X-rank level. So, it's probably the right idea there. And you were kind of just stuck. The overcommitment, I would say, really happens back where you decide to go... back right here where you decide to go after the dualies. You probably actually could have gotten the pick with how slowly they responded there if your aim was perfect, but if, you know, once you get to the point where your aim is perfect there, they're probably getting to the point of awareness where they know to already be rolling away. So I would say that you probably don't win that fight in most circumstances. And deciding to take this fight, another thing about like taking this fight is that when you go over, let's take a look. Right here, there's this big area of green ink that's still here that's in your way if you try to retreat as you move forward. So you don't really have perfect access to mid right now, and someone pinches you from the right-hand side and gets you stuck in mid, and that's how this ends up going wrong.
Yeah, at first I thought, what if I outmaneuver the dualies? But then I remembered I cannot. They can definitely like
they can just roll backwards and have range on you the whole time that fight's happening. And they're not executing on that plan perfectly, but I think it's always a good idea to try and like play the best Splatoon that you can, assuming that your opponents are going to be strong, because eventually you will get up to a point where they are playing that well. So those are my thoughts on it. Probably could have gotten the junior, all things considered, but you know, I think you generally had the right call to try and run away under most circumstances, and the junior just messed up. So.
Yeah.
In the
well,
end, it's not a huge deal. I think the Dynamo trades back for you, so it ends up just being an even game, and you're not going to lose a lot of ground to this. Now, what you might lose a lot of ground to is the fact that we're spending so much time in our base while they're already pushing checkpoint. Right now, like, you have 2 armor weapons on your team, and it's probably more useful for us to have an armor than it is to have a splashdown. And so painting up your base here, area that is never going to get painted back by the enemy team, you're taking away what could be an emergency armor for one of them when they come back out. So I would try and get your paint for splashdown from further out on the map in areas that are more difficult for them to contest, because taking this away from them is taking away kind of a safeguard that you have in the late game. And also, spending all of this time near the base is making it so that your team is basically in a 3v4 trying to defend the tower. And you want to kind of have as little time where that's happening as possible when the enemy team is in control of the objective. But
Yeah.
they end up holding their ground, and they actually get 3 down, which is awesome. So they get like 3 for 1 out of that 3v4 fight, so that's really good on your teammates there.
Yeah, like,
I always think that I can make that jump. I always think I can make that jump, and then I'm like, oh, no, I can't.
That's funny. So yeah, like the reason why I'm going more for farming splashdown because I have
Oh, are you trying to splash down
special-
jump to them?
yeah, that's
I
what I'm
see,
trying
okay.
to do because like in case if the tower gets contested, like slightly contested, I can like get rid of that in one instance, like in one drop. I have special like something like to farm special
Okay.
and fast super jump.
That makes sense. So, yeah, like at a competitive level, I would still say that the armor is probably ultimately more useful, and that you might want to just like try and swim out there or jump to the furthest one back. Because you can still be useful even without the splashdown jump, but that is definitely a better play than just like going for splashdown and then swimming in for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, you're also right on that one. Because I could have used the armor for something else.
So far so good. I like that you're not like overcommitting right now. Your junior is down. They've got a lot of paint in mid. Like, you're not the weapon that's going to be able to like paint super well into mid. So, you know, you're just controlling your space. You're making it so that they can't push too far forward. This Dynamo is in way too deep. Knowing that you have the back of a player who's on tower shooting at your Dynamo player, I might have like run to the edge of this wall and maybe tried to get some shots on them and their back, but at this point your Dynamo is already all the way down and the other players are shooting at you. So we knew that there was an enemy Dynamo here, and the Dynamo can reach from plat. So I'm a little bit worried to show myself up here because of exactly this. At this point, once the one hit has landed, in order to survive a Dynamo, you're going to need to put the brush down and run backwards at an angle that the Dynamo can't guess. If you run any further forward, the clash just hits you. If you run off this way, whoever it is down here, I think it's the dualies, hit you. So you need to be putting the stack in between you and all 3 of them and then getting backwards in order to survive this.
Yeah, that's right. Also, I wasn't expecting at all the Clash Blaster over there. And there was also a probability that dualies would be down there. So I was, in that case, a 3v1.
Right.
So yeah,
it definitely was a 3v1, and when they have that much ink, you kind of want to assume that somebody is going to be there that you didn't see. That's usually a good rule of thumb. Unless they're like down, obviously. Like if you see up on the top of your screen they can't possibly be there, okay, that's one thing. But if they're in play and you haven't seen them, just assume that they're in the ink that you're scared of. So your team again has a really clutch defense here. Like they are staggered when this happens, but they end up getting 3 down. So that's really good from them. And we're able to get some map control from this. You are out in the open, and I wouldn't want to stay out there for very much longer than this. Because there's already someone on plat that I've seen who has probably spotted you and knows that you're here. Even getting out here, like if there's a Dynamo watching too closely, they might still be able to hit a vertical flick, although the Booyah bomb probably did get in the way. generally, I would hope that like your maybe junior would ride the tower the most. You're not a bad tower rider, but I think you're better served pushing up and helping skirmish instead of playing this role, which is usually more reserved for the support. The fact that you kind of separate off from your team on the right here, they're all like rushing in on left. So in order to support that more, you might have wanted instead to try and go over, let me back up a little bit. So if they're all over on the left, you going into like tree and like sharking around this corner is very unlikely to find anything because the enemy team is going to be looking at your team, which is way over on the far left-hand side. If you want to support your team that's on the far left-hand side in this position, what you actually want to be doing is taking the jump up over here and threatening to go up over the top and pinch the enemy team. Because then they have to look in a different direction from the rest of your team. And you're probably not going to get a lot of picks that way because you're alone and you're having to hop up over a ledge. But you can always just kind of like zip back down and use the ledge for cover whenever they threaten you. And as soon as that happens, they're at least turned away from your teammates and your teammates have an easier time on the left. So that as a skirmisher is what I'm thinking to try and do. Try and just draw aggro. And you even do a good job there of checking your map to, you can see your team's positioning. They're mostly ready on the left, and that's where the tower has to push through anyway. So that's what you want to be having an impact on right now. Looks like they end up just not really going for tower here. Okay, yeah, with your junior pushed that far up, I don't disagree with you taking it. I don't know why they're pushed that far up, but I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I was thinking the same because junior was all the way up there, and I was like, well, who's pushing the tower?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the dynamo on their team is like way out of play right now. They're gonna take, you know, until you guys get to second checkpoint before they're a factor again. And they're still not doing an awful lot from there. So you're kind of like visually tracking this guy the entire way. Like I can tell from your camera movement. So what you want to be doing here is as soon as you're like, okay, they're about to come around this corner, make sure to have at least a little bit of cover from them. Maybe like sit on the back corner right here so that if someone attacks you from the back left, then you can move forward a little bit and the tower's blocking. But if the dynamo shows up, then you can back up around this way. And that way you can go either one of these directions and still have cover either way. So this corner right here is probably where I would be sitting instead of the front of the tower. Because like I think you're expecting this bomb to stop them, but then they end up jumping way further out, and now you don't have any cover or anything.
Yeah, that was my mistake there, because I tried to go like on the back, but I was blocked by the.
Okay, so you tried to move backwards, and we were just too far on the other side of the tower, and you bumped into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. So good. I'm glad you had the right idea for sure. Okay, so we're going for a splashdown jump. With splashdown jumps, what I like to do is wait until the very last second to activate it, because then you give the opponents less warning that a splashdown is about to happen. You can even like sometimes see the player about to land and you start shooting at it. You'll see like the black image of the splashdown start to go down, and then the splashdown circle comes around, and that usually gets opponents to commit more to being in that circle. So instead of like activating it this early on, I would get like maybe halfway further down than where you are right now, and then trigger it, and that'll usually bait people into committing more to try and camp your jump, and it's more likely to actually get a pick that way. It's still not guaranteed, but it's you might as well go for it because there's no other way to get more value out of it. Okay, so on this landing, we need to immediately be taking a different position because people could shoot you from here, they could shoot you from here. Your teammate is on the left. If this guy drops down and someone else drops on this side, now you're pinched between the two of them, and this guy might still be able to get cover from your teammate over here. So you don't want to end up in that pinch situation. You either want to be probably on the far side here, and that's risky because someone could be shooting you from here, or you want to be maybe sharking like on the side wall, or you want to back up a little bit. You just need to stop these guys from dropping down. They're not going to be able to do anything about the tower unless maybe it's like the dynamo vertical flicking from right here, and that's about it. You don't need them to drop down or you don't need to like splat them. You just need to stop them from dropping down, and that will actually do all of the defending that you need. Because right now you can see the rest of your team is on the other side of this wall from you. So now it's you versus anyone on the enemy team, any of the 3 players who decide to drop down. Okay, good, and we retreat away towards our teammates. Perfect, perfect, perfect. In that situation, knowing that someone's chasing you, I would try to get my camera turned a little bit faster so that as soon as they come around the corner, I might be able to ambush them. I know they got like 1 shot on you beforehand, but they do just kind of walk around this corner, and it's a really kind of standard brush trick to sit around the corner, turn around, and then immediately just slap them in the face as soon as they walk around. There's not another weapon that's going to walk around this corner with a super fast kill time that can, you know, out damage you, since you're getting your aim on first, and you have more consistent shots since you have a bigger hitbox than they do. So I would actually have just tried to ambush that player and then keep retreating from there. So we get it to 50, we get to lead, but the team is going to get backed up a bit here. Tower's most of the way back to mid already. I like that you're trying to support your teammate over here. You do start swinging from like a little bit out of range, so you might want to swim a little bit further forward before you start doing this, just to paint more thoroughly around them and also potentially hit an opponent if they're chasing them too closely. And you're wise at that point to just back off, because going into that fight where you don't know where they are and they know where you are, probably not an advantageous situation. So now we see that it's the Flash Blaster on tower. Splashdown would have landed on tower if the tower had continued to push there, so that's, you know, a useful way to stop it, and the Clash Blaster isn't going to have the damage to be able to shred the splashdown in time in all likelihood, especially since they're going to have to readjust their aim, so pretty safe play there, I would say. The Clash Blaster was just shooting on the right. I know you're checking to make sure you're not going to die to that, but you had a teammate on the left side of the Clash Blaster, and so what you could have done here, spotting teammate here, Clash Blaster here, is just run away from the missiles toward the Clash Blaster, get the Clash Blaster's attention or something, because your teammate is actually actively shooting at them right now, and they end up getting them anyway. But if the Clash Blaster had turned to fight your teammate, then you would have been in position to fight them, and that's the only way that this really could have gone wrong. If they had gotten a 1v1 with your teammate and beaten your teammate. You also probably, in this position, seeing that the junior drops down and definitely does not see you, this is another chance where you could possibly swing around the right-hand side and get them pinched between you and your teammate here. And that way, again, if they turn to look at you, your teammate gets them. If they just keep going after your teammate, you've got their backs. And either way, that's an advantageous fight. You do have to be a little bit careful about the dynamo, because we haven't, like, really located where they are, although I think we just saw them in the upper right very briefly. Yeah. But, yeah, we end up getting a pick anyway, because they just take the tower for no reason. It's like, one of us just went down. I think we should take tower. That sounds like a good plan. It is not a good plan. So the tower switches over to the other side right now. And we, as you can see from this frame, have no idea what's going on, because there's just been a big flash of who knows what in front of us. So one of the first things I'm thinking is, okay, someone just touched the tower from the enemy team. Who is on my left over here? Like, what's going on in the tower area? Because we know that there are people in front of me, but if I just push into middle and try and take this fight, and there's someone on the left, I get pinched from this side and run in and die. Unfortunately, the teammate decides to go in and take a bad fight as a junior against a weapon that's going to splat them fast. Yeah, that was just kind of not good from the junior. So I don't blame you for going in to try and support them, because, like, they started a fight, and so you're like, oh, let me go and help that fight. You didn't have a great position, unfortunately, to be able to help it, and that's not your fault at all. Like, that's not a fight, again, that they should be engaging in the first place. Because all you're really able to do is push in the same direction that they went in. Like, you can't, like, swing around the left-hand side in any reasonable amount of time to help this guy, The most you can do is maybe move over closer to this direction and maybe like run around in circles or something, but like you end up going into the same line of fire that gets the junior, and there end up being 3 there as well. So in going a little bit further back to break this down, I would have probably gone in there and tried to take out the Flash Blaster with my junior here. If not, then I definitely would have gone in to try and take out the junior with my teammate. And then after engaging on that junior, however that goes, I retreat back to around the stacks over here and see what else is going on. Now at this point, okay, we take out the Tower Rider. Now there is a Booyah bomb that has been launched from somewhere over here. There, and it ends up on this spot. So when the Booyah goes off over here, that signals to me that the other team can see that there are people over here and are probably going to be paying attention to it. So if I push forward from here, they're probably going to be mostly looking at me. So I'm worried that I only have one way out, and it's this direction. If I only have one way out and they like paint behind me, or they pre-fire me, or they drop in and cut that off, now I'm stuck. So I'm probably not trying to go into mid from here. I'm probably at most like trying to back up, throw a bomb. Like throwing a bomb right there actually might have helped in the fight, might have gotten a trade back or something. But going in with the main weapon, you have to go too far before you're able to actually hit shots. And oh, you do actually end up getting collapsed from behind. I didn't even notice that. So if you look right at the end here, remember I was worried that there was someone on tower. There's someone right here that shows up right behind you. And so backing up in that situation, definitely what would have been the safest thing to do. So your teammates go in and take a 2-for-1 trade. It's just your K-Pro who's left alive at the moment. They do end up trading. So good slaying, but the enemy team maintains control of the objective. And that's just a really easy tower defense right there. You get a whole bunch of damage. Your teammates finish it off from another angle. Really well played from both of you. You covered one angle, your teammates covered another, and there's just nothing for the opponents to do at that point. Ideally, if you are able to get there in time to drop a bomb on one of the jumps, that's the most consistent way to get them splatted. It'll splat even if they have drop roller and try to like dodge away from it. But in that situation, would have been hard to get the bomb there in time. I don't know if you even could have moved there in time using your main weapon. Definitely the right call. I think you did pretty much everything right there.
Also, there is one point where the tower gets close to our plat. And when that happens, like when the tower is getting pretty close to our base and stuff like that, I get kind of nervous and my mind starts racing and starts to like I start to like trying to think every possibility what could happen. What can like example like what can I do or what can they do? A lot of stuff that happens on my mind. When it gets that close to the end. So at that point, like that's the point where it's a 50-50 if I lose or I win. And that's like the big issue I have with tower control, and that's the reason why I've been into the void of on tower control between A and S for so long. So I don't know, you have any tips? Because I've heard you you said on stream once that you meditate before going on a match, like kind of meditating.
Sort of. So it's not that I will do that like before a match necessarily, although if you know I'm feeling especially emotional, it might be a good idea. But let's say you just got splatted, you're respawning, you're coming out, and it's a bad situation. As you're respawning, you can kind of just, you know, get yourself back into like a clear mindset. And what you need as soon as you've cleared your mind is a plan that is based on experience. So you need to be able to say, okay, right now we are X number of players down. If I go in right now, I'm probably not going to win a fight. I need to wait until I can win a fight and then go in and distract from my teammates and get something going. In the meantime, the most engagement that I'm going to be doing is throwing bombs. and I might farm for special or something. Sorry for the little squeak. I have a little rubber ducky that accidentally got squished. So you're thinking, you know, throw bombs defensively, paint defensively until we have numbers and maybe a special or something, and then go in and try and engage when we have the best chance of actually coming out on top. That's kind of the way to approach a clutch defensive position like that. Wait until you have the best advantage that you can hope to have in the time that you have before they KO, and then take advantage of that all at the same time. Maybe pop a this way or something to let your teammates know it's go time.
Alright. Sounds good.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps, and I'm happy to, you know, answer any further questions if like there are more specific positions that you get into. Because on this map, I'm thinking like, okay, what do I even want to do as a brush at that point? And it's not the easiest thing to get an answer for. You don't have a lot of especially strong positions to take when the enemy team has gotten the tower like up to your tree, your clam. My first thought is like run around maybe in front of the tower and try and draw their fire, try and like make them look at you so that your teammates on the right have an off angle and are able to hit them. Like you're not going to be able to directly engage and get a good fight win unless you're already in a sharking position. So if you're going to have to just like run straight at the tower, might as well run around at an off angle to try and get them to look at you. That might be the best way to go about it, because it's not even the easiest thing in all of those positions to hit a splat bomb on the tower. So if you can do that, that's probably really good, because that'll force them into an area where your teammates are looking. But if you can't throw that splat bomb, don't have enough ink, don't have a good angle to do it from, then maybe your best option is to run around and try and draw their attention so that your team can follow up. Maybe at some point you go in to try and splash down the tower. Maybe you find a place where you can throw some bombs from, but that's my first thought.
Yeah, it does sound good. Like kind of waiting until like we get a lot of specials and just repel them from like advancing a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how did we get here? So we're in neutral. We get forced over to the left by a bomb. The Clash Blaster sees that the bomb was thrown in mid, and so they start pre-firing this angle, and you're like, oh shoot, I can't push this too hard. They pop armor. This is a really good play from them. Yeah, that was just like textbook how they played that push. This bomb is great because they know that there are two players here. It forces these two players behind this area. Then they cut off your escape on the left. They cut off your escape on the right. They pop armor. They rush in and overwhelm you. So as soon as I see that there's a Clash Blaster like pre-firing that, I'm probably like, okay, the bomb to my right is gone already. I don't want to get stuck here. I'm just going to put the brush down and run to the right. It's probably the best option you had there. Especially when you see the armor come out. Strong teams are going to pop armor for a reason. They're going to pop armor because like they want to engage on something. Your teammate trades back, which is sick. I really hope that your teammate survives though, because of all of the specials on your team that can stop, your K-Pro's Booyah Bomb is the only one that's really going to stop the tower effectively. And I'm worried that your K-Pro is getting too far off into the weeds over here where they cannot have an impact on the tower. Even if they were to like jump back to spawn from here, I don't know if they get back to second checkpoint in time if your two teammates go down over here. And if they go down, then they're not going to have the Booyah for the end of the game. So while the trade back is nice, the best case for them is probably they jump to your Dynamo immediately and get out of here. Because the tower is starting to push towards you guys. It's still only a 3v3. You don't have paint control, and they're pushing into a pretty dangerous location. Okay, they end up being able to work with their teammate here and get a pick despite not having a lot of paint. So it looks like you're trying to paint for special here, but at this point with the tower approaching so quickly, you want to be taking aggro away from the Dynamo. They're going to see, oh, there's this Dynamo up on the top right now. This is who can stop the tower, and they're going to be looking at them. if you force them to look at you instead, the dynamo who actually has range on the tower, they're going to be able to be more effective in clearing the tower. So right now, instead of, I mean, yeah, painting up plat is a good idea so that you have some control over it, but you're a brush. You're going to be able to like run around and like paint this a little bit with your brush down, and also have an impact on the tower a little bit more quickly. And they don't have to get very far to get lead. They only have to get like halfway through this checkpoint to get lead. So I would probably be trying to go into combat mode a little bit sooner rather than farming for special quite this long. Even so, though, your dynamo does a perfect job of clearing the tower. If they'd been pressured a little bit more, then that might have gone a little bit worse for you guys, and that's what you going and skirmishing is going to help with. But I think in in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a bad play at all, and you were still going to be able to have an impact on the tower in time. It's just like if your dynamo gets pushed there, that's when they really need your support. So I will say overall, like, really well played, especially, big improvement from the last VOD review that we did for you. You're being a lot more intentional about where you're positioning. You're kind of moving up at the right times, recognizing when you have advantage, when you don't. There are definitely, some places here where awareness is like, you've got the awareness, but like you're not quite making the perfect decision off of that information you're getting yet. But like, you're playing the objective, you're being in just about the right positions. Generally, like, huge improvement since last we saw you. And I think part of it is like your team experience that you're starting to get is really coming into play here. But I can also just tell you've been working your butt off since last time. So good on you for that.
Thanks.
Do you have any questions for me?
I do kind of have one. Because like, since last time, I have a bad habit of like pointing the camera down, and I don't know. Is there like any tips like getting off that bad habit? Because it seems like I still have that from last time, but I kind of brushed it off a little bit.
I think I'm noticing it happening the most when you're like painting really frantically or moving your camera around really frantically. Like, there are times where it feels like your mind is just racing and there's so many things going on at once that what's going on the screen in front of you isn't one of the things you're focusing on. So I think, like, with just a slightly slower pace of play, or slower, more deliberate pace of decision making, you'll often end up in more situations where the thought in your head occurs, I need more information to make this decision now. And as soon as you are looking for that information, as soon as you think, I need information, then you're just automatically going to try and gather that information by using your camera. So I think it comes from a place of being mindful about your decision making. Because as soon as you need to make a decision and you realize you need information, you're going to correct that habit just out of a desire to get that information. So that might be what it boils down to. Just that, like, at all times you need to be kind of thinking, what should I be doing next? What should I be doing next? And in order to answer that question, you're always looking for answers like, where is the enemy team? Where is my team? How much paint is on the ground? What position am I in relative to all of those things? And once you're looking for that information to make those decisions, I think that problem might resolve itself without you having to try anything different mechanically.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, because like, I also have like now the habit of opening the map every time I get splatted or every time I'm like behind cover.
I was noticing there were a couple of good map checks there that actually did give you good information you could act on. So that was awesome. Yeah, lots of good things happening here. Keep it up, and you're even catching yourself on a couple of things where, like, you've got a pretty good deep understanding of why something went the way that it did, and that you're able to respond to me with. So I can tell you're being really thoughtful about it. Like, there's a lot of good stuff happening. Like, you're learning very fast, and that's super cool to see. So excited to see what you and your team are going to be able to pull off in Splatoon 3.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Splatoon 3.
We all are.
Also,
That's for sure.
like, also like, now with this VOD review, I did realize I need to actually know my priorities. Like, instead of farming splashdown, I should be skirmishing someone. Or yeah.
Or threatening to shark, or you know, getting into position where you can support a teammate's fight is a big thing. So yeah, spotting out those opportunities that you can really capitalize on is going to be a huge help to you. I need to move on to the next VOD review here. We're running a little bit short on time for it, but thank you so much, Kugersy. Good work so far, and we'll see more of you in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, thanks for the VOD review. It helps a lot.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on to Magic Mango. I'm going to check chat really quickly in the meantime. All right. Looks good. So, Magic Mango playing KGal. This is a league match, according to the title here. That they're well, yeah, because they're playing with a bunch of people from the server. There's Nug there. So we were just playing with Nug earlier, and that's part of why I was like, "Hey, Nug, you can come on in because you're in our VOD review today." So we might actually have some stuff to say about Nug too. So we're rolling out on the left-hand side, and our teammates, the Roller and the E-Leader, are going out on the right. So what I usually like to see happen on this map is there's a really strong opportunity if you go out on the right-hand side to engage the players that are around the basket and skirmish for a pick from a long-range weapon. Devi really likes to do this on Hydra. Devi will have a short-ranged weapon go out around the right side of the ramp, and then she will stand on the top of the ramp on the right and not show herself until the player on the right has skirmished for a fight for her. And then she's able to just take some clean shots, and we usually get a pick from a play like that if we get them to engage. If you're going to go for something like that, because it looks like the E-Leader is out on the right, and if the E-Leader goes out to right ramp, that's something that they could go for. But you probably want someone with, like, maybe more of a potential to skirmish going out on the right. Like, maybe I would think maybe put the K52 out on right. That's usually where, like, when I was playing on Watercolor, that was where Femi always rolled out, and she played a lot of K52. I think that's probably the better call, so that you can put up a wall there, get people to shoot at it, and then distract for something like your Squeezer or your E-Leader to be standing on right ramp to take out. So in terms of, like, the weapons you have here, I feel like you would probably be better used on the right-hand side in this comp. But the 2-2 is a very standard rollout, very common, and you immediately move into mid here. So mid on Piranha Pit is one of the scariest places in the entire game. There are just so many open sight lines. Like, it's like a whole tic-tac-toe board of people that can see you, and you're in the middle of them all. There's very little cover. But there's also very few escape routes that can't be seen. One thing that I want to point out is that there are a lot of situations where you are disrespecting Charger sightlines and getting away with it. I will have a running count as this VOD review goes on of the number of times that the Charger could have killed you and didn't. Because that's something that's, especially with a double backline comp that you can see as you're rolling out here, you need to be super duper careful about taking any kind of open sight lines. You always want to be near cover unless you know exactly where the two of them are and that neither of them can see you. You don't really know where anyone but the Charger is right at this moment unless there are callouts happening. So you've got to be a little bit more careful, I think, than to take this open sight line. Right here, that's a shot that could have killed you. So that's number one for the charger here. And then since you don't have that information, you don't realize that there's a Hydra right up here and they mow you down. Now that's a little bit unlucky, but also just kind of running forward at this player through mid. This is what's dangerous about mid. You can just end up peeking a blind corner and get lasered down by someone you didn't see. So taking that position in general is something that I try to avoid until either I happen to know where more players are, someone's calling for a fight in a certain direction, or I have a wall out that is going to protect me from the angle that I can't see. And none of those things are really true as you go in to take this fight. You have no cover, you have an escape route kind of that gets you around this corner, I guess, but your feet behind you have just been painted. There's just not a lot going for you as you walk forward through mid like that. So I would try to play more around the left-hand side and see if there's anybody over here. Maybe sneak around using the ledge on the left to keep you safe from the backliners peeking you. And then maybe you get to right side peek this charger once you've painted up this side and gotten control of their clams or something like that. So that might be an idea. Or if you wanted to just push this head on because your teammates are pushing from right, get a wall out there first and then start taking angles, taking open sight lines that they can see so that you're able to get around maybe to this pillow safely. Okay, so Sandwich is probably dead, I would anticipate here. Oh, wait, no, they're on the ramp. Never mind. They're totally fine. It's hard for me to see the outline where it was exactly. But yeah, they're on ramp. They're probably okay as long as the other players don't try to hit fall off or throw a bomb or something. They don't have a lot of paint behind them, but that's scary. And I would be calling for them, back up, like, get back to safety, you know, because you can look at the map and see they don't have an escape route on the right or on the left. So, like, they either jump out or they get back through mid very quickly right now. Otherwise, they can get rushed down. Wise of you not to jump into them at the very least. Okay, so it's back to neutral. The enemy team did not really take advantage of the one down that they had, which makes sense because they're double backline. They don't have a lot of pushing power, and that is a huge weakness of their weapon comp. We go right back to the position where we got splatted from the first time. This again, mid is a very dangerous position. By about here, if I'm going to go this way... Okay, I thought something fell over, but it looks good. At this point, what I want to be doing is getting a wall right here. If you get a wall here, that protects you from this blind corner on the left. Then all you have to worry about is what's on the right, and you have a pretty fast-killing weapon that hits any angle of someone who's going to really be threatening you from there. So that wall can probably get you to the pillow just fine. But we want to be throwing that a little bit earlier for the same reason that you just got splatted for. Here is time number 2 that the charger could have splatted you and didn't. And in fact, somebody else does end up splatting you before they do. You have shot over here from 2 different times. You've really announced your location by firing those shots. And with those shots coming down over here, the enemy team is probably going to be anticipating that you push around this corner. Now, somebody is actually already shooting at you, but their aim isn't as fast as yours, and that's why you're able to get a pick. Another important part of why you get a pick is that they shot block their player who's right over here. There are a lot of things that go right in order for you to even be able to trade, but even then, they get the pick back pretty quickly. So this is not a high percentage play. This is something that is very unlikely for you to come out on top with. You're lucky that you get the trade, but even then, as the K-52 against basically any of these weapons, your team is losing more value for losing you than they are for losing that other weapon, frankly. I guess you're able to trade with the armor, and so they don't have armor. But, like, what is a Hydra and a Charger going to do with ink armor? They're still not going to be able to exactly walk forward. It might give them some more survivability, but the armor is not super well used on this team. So I wouldn't even say that, like, this trade is really that worth it. You have them bottled up and boxed up already. You can probably get more value out of playing it a little bit more patiently here, setting up a wall, painting up, and getting a Booyah bomb in time to flush these players out into the sight lines of something like your E-Leader or your Squeezer. That, I think, is where you're really going to be able to punish these players for having this double backline comp and go in there and really do some damage. So they end up splatting you and then being able to Booyah bomb to save some space. One of them ends up going down anyway. We can't really see exactly what's happening. But your teammates are doing a good job of maintaining paint control. You're really keeping the other team quarantined over there in mid. And one of the big advantages of that is that you're able to just swim back in after being splatted and be there like nothing happened. Now, the counterplay for the other team in this position is not to just like put full force at their basket. It's to pinch from the left-hand side over here. So as soon as I start moving over into mid again, that's a good pick right there. You are moving into area that your team clearly controls. You have two other players looking at this. They have no right to even be there in the first place. This is very similar to the play that you made a couple of times before this, where you pushed into mid without proper support and ran into the entire enemy team. So you're doing well to punish this, and you're going to be able to move up off that. But again, we're not checking the left-hand side. This is the same mistake we've made 3 times now, where the first time the Hydra actually was there and punished us for this, there could be someone around the left-hand side, and we're just not checking for that. So now we're exposing ourselves in front of a charger and another enemy player. We don't know for a fact that our teammates have just like swam straight up with us. These aren't really positions that an E-leader and a foil squeezer are going to want to take a lot of the time. They're going to want to be a little bit more deliberate than you here. And you still haven't put out a wall in front of you to keep you safe. One of the kind of fundamental theoretical ideas about range is that a long-ranged weapon wants a fight across wide open spaces with no cover, because cover lets a short-ranged weapon get closer to the long-ranged weapon before the long-ranged weapon can shoot them. Right now, you don't have any cover, and cover is the advantage that you would have over something like a charger. Once you have that cover, now you're able to actually go in and use your superior like maneuverability to get the pick on the charger in between the cycle of their one-shots. But you don't have any cover. You haven't given yourself the artificial cover that you get from a splash wall. So this is a position where the charger absolutely should just take you out as soon as they have charge ready. They miss their shot. You get a wall up. You end up being able to take the charger out before they're able to retreat and before they're able to get charge again. So that's good counterplay once the charger misses their shot. But again, that's number 2 times that the charger... Actually, was that number 3? That was number 3. That's the 3rd time that the charger could have splatted you and didn't, only because they missed their shot. And it's important to bear in mind when your opponents make mistakes like this so that you're aware that at a higher level, you are going to get punished for this. So this is really good poking around. This is something that I've been looking for you to be doing around cover this entire time as you're like engaging. Before, what you've been doing is running around cover and then just immediately holding forward at them. But here, you're kind of using the cover to your advantage. You're kind of ducking and dodging around it. You're kind of hemming them in. You're taking positional advantages instead of just trying to hold forward and win a 1v2. And so that gets you a good fight win against this player. And then you kind of engage on the Hydra from multiple different directions. Your teammate is helping. They don't really know where you are. They look in the wrong direction. You get them. So this is really well played after the charger misses their shot. So the team is going to be able to get in and score at this point. I like that you're seeing your whole team is rotating to the basket right now. On this map, you always want to have someone right around where you're standing right now, controlling the middle of the not quite the middle of the map, but stopping the opponents from collapsing on you from behind you and keeping you stuck in the basket. You want someone who's defending this, because that's a really strong defensive play that like this player is trying to make if you don't have someone watching this. Now, I really, really want you throwing a wall here. You are, again, out in the open without any cover. If you're going to take this fight, throw a wall forward first, because then you're going to be able to swim right up to the wall, be in range of this player, and they're not going to be able to hit you. And now, instead of you having to hit shots before they do, you're just behind cover and you're perfectly safe. And this is like a 100-0 fight. Because you end up taking a little while to get your shots on, and in all of that time, and the other player could have probably splatted you. They could have maybe gotten away. They could have, jumped out. It takes help from your teammate to be able to get this pick. And that's time your teammate could have been maybe spending going and getting clams or something else. So it does end up working out for you, but it could have been a lot cleaner if you just throw a wall, take your time, get your shots on. Don't be like waving your aim around. Another thing is that if you get that pick a little bit quicker, you can probably, look around, gather information, and notice this player up here a little bit sooner before they start engaging on you. Really good flick there from your flings a roller to clean that up. Are we going to be able to keep scoring? No, we're not. So we lost a little bit too much time to be able to get clams in. We just kind of didn't have a lot of clams as a team. We have a lot here. Okay. So this might actually be a team thing. So one of the members of your team has like 6 or 7 clams. And what I want them to be doing here is scoring a little bit more slowly because they are the only clams that your team has. You need to give your team time to rotate back and get more clams to keep the basket open. Because you end up with a huge numbers advantage right here. This is a 3-to-1 situation. There's no reason that you don't have the force to keep the basket open. The problem is you don't end up having the clams. You've used all of them up, and people have had to back up too much to get more of them. If you have someone scoring a little bit more slowly and also dedicate someone to running back out to grab more clams while you are, the K-52 are in there protecting them, this is a situation where you can actually like ferry more clams to the basket and keep it open for longer. And instead of just getting stopped at 56, even though you clearly have control of the map still, you guys are still scoring. Is this a situation where the charger could have got you? Oh yeah, this is absolutely a situation. And this is a jump too. Like the charger should already just have their laser on you. Yeah, that's a big miss from the charger. So that's 4 times that the charger could have splatted you but didn't. In this position, I would probably favor the player who's a little bit further back, but they miss. It's, with the basket going up and with the spawns staggered the way they are, like someone on the other team just respawned, so that player is probably going to be in position to get in the way. This player is just respawned, so if they just run straight forward, they can probably get close to you on that jump. I'd probably play a little bit more careful with that jump than that. Okay. At this point, so we get around the corner and we start painting, and then we realize there's a zap here. If we don't hit our first 2 or 3 shots, we just don't want to be here anymore. We've lost the initiative. The enemy zap, for all we know, is going to immediately snap to us and be able to laser us and pre-fire the location that we can go and attack them from. They also happen to have right side peek advantage, because if you move to the left here, you're going to have to expose yourself more over the top of this ledge, because you hold your weapon on the right-hand side than they are. They hold the weapon on the right-hand side, which means they see down over this sooner than you see up over it. So even though your weapon splats faster, you don't have a wall up, and you just don't have initiative right now, so you need to kind of back away, give up a little bit of space. Maybe then you can bully your way back in with the splash wall and using your range to threaten them. But for now, this is not a fight that we want to engage with. So we do back up, which is great. We go back into this fight. And right here, we are missing a lot of shots and standing and continuing to miss a lot of shots. What you want to happen here, and this is something to practice in the training room, like, we'll slow this down a little bit. So we're off to the left right now. We swing way wide to the right, then we swing way wide to the left again. And granted, there the zap moves a little bit, and so that's a reason that we're missing, but we still overcorrected again. We are still too far left. We're still too far left. And the whole time that we're still too far left there and stuff, we're still firing the weapon. That is a problem for 2 reasons. One, if you're just standing there, you're having to react to how they're moving, but they're not having to react to how you're moving. They have plenty of time to try and get their aim on because you're still not a very mobile target. You're not making yourself very difficult to hit that way. Number two, the longer you fire the weapon, the worse the aim RNG gets, and your aim RNG on a K-52 is already pretty bad. So you really very, very rarely want to fire more than 3 shots unless you're explicitly just doing it to paint. Most of the time, you fire 2 or 3 shots, and then you move, and then you fire 2 or 3 more shots in combat, unless you have to paint for yourself again. You're not throwing out a wall in this fight, which again would make this much easier. You'd be able to just throw it in front of you, and then once it's out, you swim right up to the edge of that wall. And if they are shooting like at that wall there, if they're hitting that, then you can get close enough to them to splat them through the wall. If they don't shoot at the wall and they just run away, then you can just charge up enough ink and throw a wall even further forward, and now they're locked out even more, and you can kind of just keep doing that sort of thing and take up all of the space that they are relinquishing to you. Lastly, when you're trying to aim, you really don't want to be overcorrecting. By overcorrecting, I mean you start on one side of them and then you swing too far in the opposite direction to get to the other side of them. So you just went from left of them all the way to right of them. You only ever want to go from left of them to directly on them. And that's something to practice in the training room. That's something that, like, before you even start holding the ZR button down to fire at the targets, spend a couple minutes just having your aim off the target, snapping straight to the target without going past it. Practice not ever overcorrecting and not ever taking a curved path to get to that target. That's how you will correct this habit. Because right now you're just aiming like a wave. You're aiming like a sprinkler. Very, very many shots being fired. Very few that actually have a chance of hitting anything. So that's a mechanical thing to be working on. And that is what ultimately causes you to lose this fight. You stay in this fight for much, much, much longer than it is safe to. They have had a lot of time to be able to get their aim on, and you only, I think, hit 1 shot in that entire engagement while they are maneuvering around and stuff. So at X rank level, this fight ends, this fight ends right here, because they see that you're missing them. They dodge once, they zip in and get the rest of the shots they need on you right here. If not there, then it definitely ends right here. This player also overcorrects and misses by a lot. After they miss that second time, you actually do have an opportunity if you hit all of your shots, but then they do finally finish the job. I shouldn't necessarily say at X rank, but at, this probably isn't an X rank team that you're playing against, looking at how they're moving. I will probably say at X rank, because this is a league lobby. What power was it? We're at 202 right now. I'm just going to run back and check and see if it shows us. 1840. Yeah, okay. This is like, I want to say this is like A rank level, or maybe like S rank or something like that. Okay. So we're spawned back in. We see that there's a player on the ramp right here. And we don't know which player that is, I don't think, unless it's been called out. It's probably not the Zap. So whatever that weapon is, that outranges you. So knowing that whatever weapon this is, it outranges you, you don't want to give it an open sight line on you. Oh, no. Oh, okay. This is the Zap who drops down, but it's not the Zap who has the clam. So the Zap ends up dropping down, and that's just not a good drop given where your teammates were positioned. But this player could still be trading them back. It ends up being the K-Pro. They could have, like, right-peeked down around that and been hitting you while you were trying to fight the Zap or something like that. Like, approaching this, knowing that they have 2 backline weapons that have very fast kill times, that was a really big risk to push across open ground like that, especially without a wall. I like the wall placement. It's a little bit conservative. You can see you're out of range now. You're not going to be able to go after this player. So if you're going to try and re-engage on them, the only way to get around is through mid and going around the right side of this ramp. Because now they're just looking forward at you. Oh, they just decided not... Maybe you knew that your teammate was pushing in from the right, and I just can't hear callouts or something. But yeah, they just, like, turn and look away from you. So, I don't know if you knew that that was going to happen, or you just got lucky. Because if they just stay shooting you, you cannot approach this. Like, you kind of... You don't have a wall. You push out through the wall. They have range advantage on you. Like, this is a fight that they should, in theory, win. But they just kind of turn and try to run away, I guess, when they don't have cover or anything. I do like that wall that protects you as you collect those clams. So we move over here. This would be a great place to throw a wall, especially now that there's a bomb rush out, because it'll probably protect you from some of the bombs landing. You do throw one out there. That's good. And really, really smart to use the rail. You might get off it a little bit on the early side. I might have stayed on there just a little bit longer. Well, I guess it does run out, and you have to get off it pretty soon. But I might have stayed on just a little bit longer, just in case they threw more bombs in that direction. Because until the bomb rush is out, you don't necessarily want to be putting yourself in the air where you're not as maneuverable, and you might have to like run away from another bomb. But we won't count that for the charger here. You do actually get picked by the Hydra. Peeking around here, though. Let's see what happens here. So we've got a player on the left, and you're trying to go in and support them. Again, wall right here. We really need to be throwing walls if we're going to be contesting open space like this. Double backline comp. They have too many open sight lines on you. There's too much blue paint. There's too much danger in front of you for you to just walk in with the entire enemy team holed up right here. You need a wall in front of you to make this push safe. And you are even able to get a trade, but again, you could have gotten that pick very, very cleanly, seen the Hydra as they shredded your wall, and just gotten out of there safely, and had a Booyah bomb ready to go to start this push off. So they end up going down to something, probably your E-leader here. I am a little bit worried about the left-hand side right now. Again, we want to wall out. But we do go in and get a pick eventually. So again, like, once, you know, you expose yourself, like, these shots in particular are really scary. Like, these shots right here, these kind of indicate I'm about to move forward. And what a lot of backliners will do is see, oh, they're starting to shoot this way. I'm going to get a charge ready, and if they show up, I'm going to be ready to pre-fire that angle. But now you move in, you cut off the K-Pro from being able to move forward, so they're only able to move further back. You recognize that. You get, it's not exactly a right side peek, but you're able to aim around the right-hand side, and you would have advantage if you had backed up to the point where you can right-hand peek, so this is a really good push to take. So you get a pick, we get a power clam in. A little bit of a miscommunication there with a teammate throwing you the power clam. That might be something you can clear up over the comms so you don't cost yourselves this second and a half or so of indecision. Because right now you could be out here painting this all up, getting a Booyah bomb ready so that you can protect your teammates as they get even more clams in. Now you have the Booyah bomb, but now there's a charger who should have hit you with that shot. So this right here brings their total up to 5. That also was actually, I think, a situation where they could have shot you. You get the wall up in time before their shot goes out, but they should see that you're moving to the right here, and if they track you right, you're actually vulnerable right here. So if they hold that charge for a fraction of a second, that shot can actually hit. So this is a 6th time that the charger could have splatted you and didn't. Your teammate does end up taking them out, though, so your Booyah bomb ends up getting used for this player. Now, you've thrown this at this player who's right here. Let's think about like where they can possibly go. They don't have time to move this direction because they'd have to move through your ink. That takes too long. Booyah's going to catch up to them. They can either go back this way, in which case they're out of your range and there's no way that you catch up to that. It's also very difficult for you to see if they're able to make it that far away, or they run away to the right. The right is the most likely option because there is a little bit of your ink right here. So if they're going to escape somewhere, it's probably going to be in this direction, which means you want to shoot in front of them. If you shoot in front of them, you paint their feet so that they can't get away, and the Booyah bomb is very likely to splat them. Even if it doesn't, they'll still have to run into at least one of your shots in order to get away. So what you do here is you end up shooting behind them, and that way you're not painting someplace they want to be. They're actually able to get away, and if they're watching your shots really closely, they actually have an opportunity to turn right here and be hitting you. They've seen your line of fire because it was just behind them. Maybe it was masked a little bit by the Booyah bomb, but like this player could actually conceivably splat you right here. They definitely fire enough shots, and actually they do. They do get that pick there. Took a little bit longer, but you missed just as many shots as they did. Let's see. I don't know if you have enough time to throw a wall there, but you definitely, if you pre-fire this angle, you have a pretty favorable fight against them. It's because you didn't fire in front of them that they were able to move however they wanted to, and then the smoke screen affected both of you, and so it ended up being an even fight, even though you had used a special to initiate it. Okay. And your team is also already out of there, it seems. Looks like maybe a few too many of them. Well, okay, 2 of you would have gone down. So the others of you who were like backed up, maybe defending or gathering more clams, they don't really have the ability to move back in, so they just kind of hole up right in mid to try and hold ground there, which is a smart move. Okay. A little bit spooky there, especially when you see someone going down or like being that close to the ink. That is probably the safest jump you've got, though. You end up landing safely. Yeah, that jump is fine, honestly. And it's smart that you're not playing too aggressively. You just spotted that one of your teammates went down, that they have a special. They have a lot going for them right now. Again, a wall would be great here. We're not using walls nearly enough. Nice, and I love that you're using right side peek advantage right there. Very, very good positioning as soon as you get up that close. Because they didn't have to let you get that close, I don't think. But as soon as you get close enough that they can't hit you down over this ledge, this is perfectly played. So we collect a bunch of clams. Again, I would want to throw a wall right there in front of us. We're jumping into enemy ink here. So the charger fires over on the right. I don't think they see you or would have been able to hit you there. But the problem is that you get too close to the enemy wall before you throw yours. And so what happens in this interaction is your wall gets canceled out completely. Now you have no cover at all, and there just happens to be someone in the back left looking right at you. Your best shot of surviving in this case is swim over to the left and hope that these players don't see what just happened, and super jump back to your teammates, because this guy definitely knows exactly where you are. It's not a great situation at that point, and again, part of the reason for that was that you jumped into enemy ink. Like, look at how much blue is around you right now. You don't have an escape route anymore. So what you need is cover if you're going to be in this position, and using that cover, you want to paint this all up, and then you can start moving forward, and then you'll have an advantage, and then they'll really be pushed back instead of being able to just swallow you up as you get stuck in between them. So now that was an over-aggressive play, and your team, they are able to pick the charger there. So they still have numbers, but they don't have special advantage. If the enemy team were to pop like Booyah armor right now, you would still have to back up, even though they're at disadvantage. So you throw the wall out there, but then immediately decide to go someplace else. You work over here on the left with your teammate. Great job. You spot them right when they don't have charge, and you take them out. I like the idea to map check here up until the point where you get around the corner. Because at this point in time, for all you know, there's a charger standing right here. And you swim out around the corner for a good little while without knowing, and lo and behold, there is actually a charger standing right here, and that is a shot that they could have taken in your direction. It turns out that they take it and hit your teammate instead, but I'll still count that because you're pushing yourself into a position where the charger could have killed you instead. So that is bringing us up to 6, I think. Oh, and the charger actually does end up getting you, so we'll take one away because they did actually get you there. So good on them. In the meantime, your teammate is able to get through in the bubbles, and there's really nothing the Charger is going to be able to do about that, so I don't blame their positioning at all. They try to hold this angle. Nug does a great job of slotting themselves in there in a place where it's really hard for the Charger to defend. I like how you're kind of poking around both sides of that piece of cover, seeing if you can get them to overcommit. They end up not. I like the wall here. You know that you're at a disadvantage and you don't have a lot of numbers, but you are going to be able to take a fight if the zap pushes in too quickly without any support. And even if they do have support, you can just back up around this corner here and be safe. So well played. You win yourself a pick, stagger the enemy team a little bit more. That would have been bad if you hadn't had the Booyah, because the Charger could have gotten your landing, but you do a good job of kind of recognizing that situation, popping the Booyah for that exact reason. That's really risky. So as soon as this wall goes out, you're not in range to hit anybody. The only way you get in range to hit anybody from here is if you push past the wall. And if you do that, you're now in range of a Hydra with charge. So, you know, challenging the Hydra here, especially since you then get damaged by a mine, which is really unfortunate, this is going to go to the Hydra every time. They just have faster DPS. And you're already damaged to boot. So that slows your team's push down a lot, because you just got a power clan made, and most of the team was already going to be in position. But now with you down, they're going to have to back up a little bit more. So they weren't ready for you to push in like that, and you pushed in before you had an advantage to push with. Okay, so 1-for-1 trade. I'm seeing someone over on the left, and I'm seeing my teammate deal with that. The first thought in my head now is, this is the player who's closest to me, and my teammate is already helping. If I can get in to help my teammate somehow, we probably get this pick, and that's huge because that gives us numbers advantage right at the end of the game. So if you're going to go over here, the very first thought in my head is go left and get behind this player and flank them with your teammate. So instead, we throw out a wall here, and that's a decent wall. You're not going to be able to get in super far with that, but the Hydra runs out of charge, and that's how you know that this is safe to go for. This player could have thrown that bomb a lot better, but I think you can probably still get the splat and get away. And now you need to back up because they have range on you, and you're hurt quite a bit. It's a very easy fight for them to trade back if you stay into that. Was that a shot the Charger could have taken on you? Yes. So that's number 6, that the Charger could have splatted you and didn't. I like this play. I like this play because this is overtime. They don't have a lot of time left. And if you are threatening to just get a clam jump into their basket, they have to focus on the wrong side of the map for them right now. So this is just a really good play in general. Distracts them for long enough. Nothing going to happen anyway. They were out of time. So, oh. Okay, we don't get to see the end of that. But, so to bring this back to skirmishing, because that was something I was talking about with Kugersy a lot, you're playing as though you can always slay on this weapon. You're playing as though every single fight, your job is just to hold forward and press the ZR button and get the pick as fast as possible. And there are some situations where the K52 cannot just run in and slay. The reason that the K52 is really good is not because it just runs in and slays really fast. It's that it can slay really fast at a very good range, but then if it gets into a position that's too dangerous for it to try and do that, it can put up a wall and skirmish instead. And there are a lot of situations here where you are not choosing to skirmish at all, where you're just kind of holding forward, initiating a fight, whether your team is behind you or not, and ending up in like 1v2s and 1v3s. If you're going to try and take a 1v2 or something like that, that is something that this weapon is capable of doing because it's busted. But the reason that it's capable of doing that is because it can put up a wall and defend itself so that it cuts off an angle from the one player and turns it into a 1v1 with somebody else. And then it's able to, you know, get that pick really quickly because it's a very fast slaying weapon with good range, and then turn its attention to the other player. That's how this weapon has to work if you're going to try and take open ground like that. And these are the exact weapons that are going to punish you for not playing appropriately behind your wall, for not skirmishing enough, for being a little too impatient to go in and slay. Your comp is definitely very passive and definitely needs you to be on the aggressive side, but you going in without support or without a wall up and dying is not the kind of aggression that they need. They just need pressure. They just need you to engage the enemy team so that maybe the squeezer can sneak into a position where the charger's not looking and get some quick picks before the charger can get charge in time. Or they can get range over the pro. Or you distract someone so that the flings can hit up over a ledge. Or you distract someone so that the E-leader can hit someone from an off angle. Like, you need to be engaging the enemy team, but you have a lot of weapons here that can actually get the picks. What they need more out of you is your ability to be on the front line and not die. And that is exactly what a skirmisher does. And while that's not all that a K-52 can do, it can slay and skirmish both very well. You need to be using both sides of that coin more often. You need to be recognizing this is not a situation where I can just hold forward, where any weapon in the game can just hold forward and win a fight. I want to put up a wall, take it a little bit more patiently, use the wall to maybe get some paint control, and then maybe throw a Booyah bomb to displace them if that doesn't get a pick yet. Or keep throwing walls until my teammates can follow up. There are a lot of alternative plans here that you're not ending up using a lot. And I would, from my recollection, I don't think you used a lot of Booyah bombs, and it's mainly for that reason, that instead of taking the time you had to throw a wall and then paint up and take space that way, you're trying to take space by immediately removing players from play. And you would have a much better shot of doing that in some of these situations if you waited until you had a Booyah bomb or waited until you had a wall up. So hopefully that was helpful to you, Mango. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to just DM me anything, and I'm always happy to answer. So that is all we have for Squid School for today in terms of the VOD reviews. I want to do a couple of quick notes here. First of all, I am a content creator that is trying to do this full time, so would really appreciate it if you would check out my links there, especially my Patreon. That is a place where people can go to just support me in whatever I'm doing. And whenever I have, any kind of question about what kind of content I'm going to make, for example, what weapons I'm going to play in the Weapon to X series, I tend to put those up in polls to my Patreon supporters so that you can have a little bit more of an impact on what the channel is going to be doing. You can also find my TikTok, my Twitter account, my Discord server. If you want to request one of these VOD reviews for yourself, go into that Discord server and DM me. I am Jem. You will find me up there with the Fearless Leader role. So you can send me a message from there, and that's how you set one of these up. And I also want to plug one more time that we are going to have a graduation party coming up September 4th, I believe it is. That was, I think, what it said on the ad that we showed earlier. If you want any help finding teams, you can often find help for that in the Discord server. We have places to post for people looking for teams. And there are plenty of people out there who are willing to help out with networking with you and stuff to get you with a group of people who you would be interested in playing with. I think that is all I have to say. One quick thing is that I am actually going to be out of town for the next few days. There will still be content being posted to YouTube and stuff. I've got it all scheduled out and ready to go, but I will not be the one who is there posting it, and I will probably be a lot less active around Discord just for those couple of days for that reason. We'll see. Maybe I'll have a lot of time to be on my phone or something. But that's what's going on for the next couple of days, but I will be back and will stream Friday evening. So I will catch you all then for more Weapon X stuff, unless some big bombshell of Splatoon 3 information drops and we want to do a reaction to that instead. That's all for me. Thank you everybody for watching. What we're going to do now is we're going to raid on Twitch. So those of you who are on YouTube, you can hop on over to the Twitch chat if you would like. And we are going to go and raid Milana. Milana is a mainstay of the competitive Splatoon scene, has ever since Splatoon 2 came out, been an ambassador between the casual and competitive audience. Phenomenal human being, and very happy to be sending you all off to her stream. So, raid is about ready to go. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a good night.